Nerdrotic.com.
Hotel. Oh, wow. I am really close to the camera. Hi, everybody. This is better. This is better. Hopefully, I won't drop my microphone stand in my crotch. That would not be good. Yeah, we had some technical difficulties. The laptop didn't want to work anymore. It just decided not to work. Hang on. Let's get a little light. Let's get a little lighter in here. That's better. That's better. Hey, we're on the road. This was kind of a last minute edition. We were originally going to do this Thursday, but I have time this morning. Boomer issues. Yes, boomer issues. Welcome to the Nerdrotic Nooner, everybody, on Nerdrotic Live and Rumble. I am in Los Angeles, California. I am in the belly of the beast. I am in hell on earth. I am drinking coffee. I will be vaping. I don't care. What's up, everybody? Hello, Noons. I don't know what time it is over there. Good evening, milady. Master Austin, your barmy. We'll get to that in just a second. Yes, Hertz Donut, who I met. Hertz Donut. What's up? Shout out, brother. So I had to meet up. Mr. Eric, White Chocolate, Big Worm, Canuck Guy, Boomer Bastard. I'm sorry, I can only see the chat out of here. Wait, maybe if I turn my monitor this way, that's better. Rod, hello, Rod. Len Nani Soko, Guido Guerrera. I got that all wrong. And Eric K. And Psychotic Mongoose. What's up? Yeah, there's nothing like having your stream all set up and then having to completely switch computers. Good thing I had a backup computer. Thank you, Meta PC. Thank you, Meta PC. We got some stuff to talk about. We've got some squaring up to do. Big news from the weekend is DEI certainly isn't quite done yet in Hollywood. Holy shit. Two of my former favorite shows, Spartacus. Fucking Spartacus. Oh, Jesus Christ. I love that show so much. And hopefully, I don't know. I'll try to share that trailer. X-Ray Girl, you might have to. We'll see. And Kurtzman Trek on the eve of Skydance taking over Paramount, which is in about 9 days. Alex Kurtzman's going strong out there. Hanging on to those tens of thousands of people who watch his shows because it ain't a million. And holy crap, the show that Legacy got kicked for had its first trailer, and it's Star Trek DEI. It is Star Trek DEI Academy, is Diversity Academy, Star Trek Diversity Academy. It's Find the Straight White Man. You will have a hard time doing that. You will have a hard time doing that. Of course, we have the Fantastic Four box office. We don't have Monday. We probably won't have Monday numbers for a while, but we'll see what that drop is. And Superman and everybody, that was the talk of the con. Con was fun. So I'll get into all that, but we got to take care of some business first. Let's start with the book. Extra Girl. I got a book waiting for Nerdrotic. Last time I saw it was at almost at $127,000. And we have 2,500 books sold. That's amazing. Thank you very much. It's a memoir, as you guys may or may not know. I don't want to say everybody has their own story, right? No life is necessarily more interesting than the other. People have had far worse in their life. I'm just an idiot who kind of rolled through life from a very early age without parents or guidance, and it showed. 16. Oh, it's a mature themes. There are mature themes. Yeah, so it's my little journey from being a little nerd and learning how to read comic books to being kicked out of my house to being a drug addict to being homeless to being in jail to being in prison, then getting out and then relapsing. It wasn't fun. It wasn't fun, but I wouldn't, as it's stated, and I've stated before, because it's kind of hard to to word this correctly. I wouldn't change a thing. The only, do I have regrets? Of course. If I could change anything, it would be hurting. I wouldn't want to hurt other people. But as far as my journey and what the mistakes I made, I wouldn't change a thing, even going to prison, because I think for me it worked. It actually worked on me. I'm one of the, I don't even know what the percentage is. 10%, where people get rehabilitated in prison and don't come back. It's a low percentage. It's slightly lower than the percentage of people who actually, make it through recovery on their first time, which is next to nothing. But 12% says the chat. 10 people, maybe. I'm one of 10 people it worked on. But it worked. Almost didn't, but it worked. So that's the story. And there's some war stories in there, but it's mostly just, and it's not to glorify anything. We make it very clear. This is not the way to go. This is not the way to go. But fortunately, through a lot of help, through recovery and family and people who love me, and my a quote I love from the outlaw Josie Wales: "Endeavor to persevere. Endeavor to persevere." So link will be in the description. Check it out if you like. We'll be talking about it. I think I'm going to be doing a show Thursday. I probably shouldn't say the show, though, yet. X-Ray Girl, what do you think? Yes? No? Maybe so? Maybe? Maybe not? It's up to me. Okay, well, we're doing Will Kane on Thursday. We're doing Will Kane on Thursday to talk about it. So that'll be awesome. That'll be fun. So absolutely no prep whatsoever. I don't think I've even looked at Discord. I'm sure Lady Greymaster has found some good articles for me, but I'm pretty sure like Fantastic Four will be on the docket, and I definitely want to talk about those trailers I saw yesterday, because holy shit, that was bad. Will Kane needs a ratings boost. No, he doesn't. Homeboy got his own show on Fox. So proud of him. So proud of him. I loved when he brought me on to talk about gaming. I mean, obviously, he brought on the right guy, right? I mean, facts are facts. Game recognizes game. Is that how it is? Is that how you say it? Well, let's go to today's sponsor. What is it? AI Today? AI, which will soon be taking over our life. So I would say get ahead of the curve before the robots come and take us all over. You can learn how to run the robots. It's all a matter of taking the initiative. It's a matter of taking the initiative. So Alexa listens to us and recommends products based on our conversations. So does Samsung. Meta uses our information based on our browsing and engagement history to sell to other companies. Why do we assume AI is going to be any different? Because it won't be. If you've used any of the leading AI apps, you have probably already been censored at some point, even for harmless questions or requests, or not so harmless, but it's a free country. There is a strange double standard today where anyone could go online and search any topic, no matter how taboo, and see relatively unfiltered results, especially on Twitter, for the most part. Yeah, you see crazy stuff on Twitter, but still people put asterisk in the word rape or something. The free speech platform doesn't make sense to me. And yet, if you use AI to search for even a dirty joke, you're softly scolded and directed into a more socially acceptable direction. Yes, AI was based on woke. Many people were reporting that for years. With Venice AI, it lets you use AI without handing over your sensitive information, with features like they don't spy or censor the AI. Messages are encrypted and your conversation history is stored only in your browser. AI can be extremely valuable, but we shouldn't need to give up our privacy to use it. Venice utilizes leading open source AI models to deliver text, code, and image generation to your web browser. No downloads, no installations of anything. Their Pro plan unlocks the full platform of features, including PDF uploads for summaries or insights, the ability to turn off safe mode for unhinged image generation, the ability to change how Venice interacts with you by modifying the system prompt, limitless text, and high image limits. If you want to use AI without fear of handing over your most intimate thoughts to a corporation of government, something we should all think about, but quite frankly, it's too late for all of us. You can get 20% off a pro plan using my link, venice.ai/nerdrotic, and use code nerdrotic, or check out the link below in the description. Yeah, basically, if you're just starting the internet today, you're good, and you should probably use Venice AI. If you're not worried about past stuff and you just want to worry about future stuff, that's probably good too. But it's probably too late for most of us. It's probably too late for most of us. All right. How's the connection looking, guys? Is it looking okay for hotel internet? It seems like it is. It seems like it is. Oh boy, Chris just sent me something. Hi, Chris, the secret producer of this show. I am looking for, where the hell are you? There you are. There you are. All right. So yeah, San Diego Comic-Con was fun. I went to 0 panels, just like in the old days. I had kind of given up on Hall H many a moon ago. Snuck in his press last year, and we got to see Robert Downey Jr., the Russo brothers. I got to see a Penguin panel, pretty much all the Marvel stuff. The first footage of the Fantastic Four, that was great. Made a kind of a sad attempt to get in this year and just kind of gave up and didn't miss it at all. So I didn't see anything in Hall H, didn't see George Lucas, didn't see anything. And I had a great time walking around the con. That's pretty much all I did, was walk around the con, did some shopping, talk to people. That's what I like to do. And I had fun. It was really crowded when there isn't a lot going on in Hall H. The floor is kind of crazy. Thursday has become, I think this is not relatively new. At this point, you could say over the last 5 years, Thursday has become a very busy day. As busy, if not busier than Saturday. So Saturday was, I just went a couple days. I skipped Friday and Sunday. That's all I can take anymore. And this is, I think, my 40th. It's about the people. It's not even about the event. It's about like seeing people and hanging out with Chris and Alan. And I was at Big Man Comics doing a signing, met some people there. We had a meetup. It was tons of fun. And I'm tired now. I'm tired. It also was kind of a mixing in a family vacation. We've been hanging out, and it's been fun. Junior's in the room with me. He waves to everybody. Nerdrotic Junior waves to everybody. Yeah, so I'm in LA right now for the premiere of Sketch from Angel Studios. And I'm going to be going with Chris is going to be there. And Drinker is here. Drinker's in Los Angeles. He's running around doing Hollywood things, I think. Well, visiting Hollywood things. Don't know exactly where he is or what he's doing right now, but we're going to meet up for lunch later. Saw him last night. He was jet lagged. I was con lagged. It was fun. It was tons of fun. So, yeah, that'll be interesting tonight. This will be my very first movie premiere. Probably my last. Probably my last. Oh, God. Yeah, but con was tons of fun. I love coming to con. And it's not going to be in San Diego very much longer. I think it's got 1 or 2 more years. And as I am a proponent of San Diego Comic-Con. I think it's part of the culture of the town. I think it only really works in the town, but we have to admit that San Diego is a stupid town, always has been. They couldn't work with the Chargers. Now Dean Spanos is a dickhead, but they haven't expanded the con either, and they've needed to for years. And if you want to get into Uber, you want a deep dive, there's an airport here that's needed to be refurbished for the 40 years that they've never done. 40 years, not a decade, not 20 years, 40 years they've needed a new airport, and they haven't done anything about it because city governments are usually retarded. And San Diego is it's a miracle the baseball park got built. It's a fucking miracle. He just passed away, but Larry Lucky Lucchino made that happen. So it's going to move, and it's probably going to move to, I guess, Vegas, and it won't have the same charm. I mean, it makes sense and everything, but it won't have the same charm because when you move something like Comic-Con to Vegas, it'll be just another thing in Vegas. There's always 1,000 more things to do in Vegas. In San Diego, it's go to Comic-Con or the beach. But I think it moves to Vegas. If it moves to LA, that would be terrible if it moved to LA. It'd be terrible. Because downtown San Diego is as crap as it's gotten, still has the gas lamp, and it's still, there's still tons of amenities. If you go down to the LA Convention Center, it'll be running from fentanyl zombies. Yeah, R.I.P. Tom Lehrer, by the way. Dr. Demento legend. Rest in peace. Known as a lyricist. But yeah, it's going to be there a couple more years, and I wouldn't attend it in Vegas. If I went to Vegas, I'll just go to Vegas. Because you're competing with gambling. So you're selling high end, and people go, well, they do that all the time. It's like, yeah, there's other Comic Cons there and stuff, but this is Comic Con. It's supposed to be the center of attention, and it won't be the center of attention in Vegas. But that's probably where it's going to go. And honestly, that's probably where it makes the most sense outside of San Diego. But California losing another thing. Wouldn't be surprised. And I don't live here anymore anywhere. So anyway, so who gives a shit? But it'll be missed. I had a lot of good times. A lot of good times at Comic-Con. All right. But yeah, I heard the contract runs out. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it said 2027. I'm pretty sure it said 2027. Okay, so what do we want to start with real quick? We'll get to Kurtzman Trek in a minute. I think, therefore I am. Maybe. I'm not really sure. That's the rest of the quote, by the way. Many people don't know that. Many people are unaware. Where am I? I don't care about Avatar. Tales of the Shire looks like shit. Oh, the OneRing.net did something very cool. I got to give them credit. They did a Prancing Pony booth, and I think it's to somewhat promote Rankin Bass Hobbit's going to get some vinyl figures. So maybe, I don't know if Dark Horse was in on it, but it looked really cool. Really cool. Well done. Well done. But let's get this Fantastic Four stuff going. We got the box office numbers. What's that right there? All right. So we talked about this on FNT, and for months we've been talking about this, months and months and months, probably pretty much the first 6 months of the year. We said July was going to decide the fate of the superhero film, and we were asked, and we speculated for months and months what the box office war would be. I want to preface this by saying how stupid Hollywood is for bunching up like grouping a bunch of movies in July, when they could have kicked one back to May. They could have put one more in June and made it a more even summer. But what we have is this big bubble that's about to burst. And then there's nothing. And I mean, nothing that's got to be, that has the potential of hitting 500 million at the box office, much less a billion. And they need billions. They make tent poles to make billions. Not everyone, but a lot of them. Theaters need that ticket money. Pretty soon they're going to have to sell like a $500 light cycle popcorn bucket that you can actually ride or something like that to make any money. Maybe they're doing that with Tron. I don't know. But there's nothing until Avatar. And if you're looking at it quarterly, I mean, Avatar is going to do great for the first quarter of next year, which they probably need, but it comes out pretty much with about 10 or 12 days less than a year. So Avatar can make up for a lot. No idea how much the movie actually costs, and we'll never know. It's probably ridiculous. But they really put a lot on July. So we were asked, and we gave unsolicited comments ourselves. Like how would the box office turn out in July? And to a man and woman on all of our streams, every single one of us said the dinosaurs would win. The dinosaurs would win. And then like it's really up to who's going to win, and my prediction was the dinosaurs, Superman, and Fantastic Four. I didn't think Superman or Fantastic Four would hit $1 billion. I thought Superman might hit 750. I think 650 for Fantastic Four. I said the dinosaurs certainly could hit $1 billion, but they might not. Maybe they hit 800 million. I don't really care. And that's the way it's looking right now. There was an article that came up yesterday that James Gunn takes a victory lap, and maybe he should. If you want to compare it, Superman's performance to the past 6 DC projects, sure, you could take a victory lap, but you can't deny those 6, and I'm being kind, just the last 6 that flopped DC projects affected his first week box office. And having watched the movie, I wouldn't take a victory lap. Of course he's going to, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't say we have a solid foundation for a DCU for the next 20 years. I beg to differ based on the quality of the movie, based on the quality of the writing and the directing. The very same could be said of Fantastic Four. Both movies were mid to varying degrees. I had a nice conversation with somebody at the meetup telling me why he liked it. That's cool. I understand that. Despite the flaws. And, again, I don't think many people other than Shills are calling it 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10, even 8 out of 10, which would be insane. 7 out of 10, okay, fine. I don't agree, but whatever. That's fine. Both movies are mid. It's the Midsummer's mid-movie, mid-off. That's what we're in right now. The Midsummer's mid-movie, mid-off. And I guess that's a victory. They're not all like complete woke disasters, but like DEI, intersectionalism, all in there. Still greatly reduced, but still all in there. And it's hilarious. The duality of man and the duality of the internet. And it's no different than it was in the comic shop. I give, my reviews are not glowing of either movie. And in some aspects, they're not entirely shitting on them either. And I'm 2 comments. I think I screen capped it. I'll try to show it next week. 2 comments right. You're a shill. You hate everything. And I'm like, Oh God. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. But yeah, Down syndrome dinosaurs are beating the brakes off of the superheroes right now. And the future is I mean, it's still up there. I wouldn't say it's outright dead. If they flopped, you could say that, but it's not outright dead. But it's not looking great. And Spider-Man Brand New Day is the next superhero film that's supposed to come out 1 year from now. And it just started filming today. Remember when they take a couple years? Yeah, they need superhero dinosaurs. I agree. Remember when they take a couple years? And we still don't have completed scripts for Avengers Doomsday. Now, of course, all the scripts are completed, according to Kevin Feige. It's not rewriting. It's called plussing. So how he isn't lying is they give him a completed script. He throws it in the trash, but says, we started with the completed script. We're just not using it. We're just not using it. But if we got a Fantastic Four in its box office, let's take a look-sees. From Deadline, this is yesterday. Do we have anything newer? Let me see. Do we have anything from today? Is it updated? Yeah, we got a little bit of an update here. Nope. All right, that'll have to work. Still waiting on the updated stuff. I don't care. Here we go. The Fantastic Four First Steps blasts off with the 218 million global bow. Milestones aplenty for Jurassic, Superman, F1, and Dragon, which is already available for rent. International box office. So what Hollywood, I mean, and you can't totally blame them. What we're dealing with here is lowered expectations because they know their deadline, their entire industry relies on these box office numbers. If we reported things like tickets sold and started comparing it to even 5 years ago, 6 years ago now, with 2019, it would be alarming. And internally, it's alarming. I promise you, internally, it's alarming to them. All right, Sunday. Disney Marvels. I'm going to correct them there. Fantastic Four. Marvel Disney's. That doesn't even fucking make sense. Disney owns Marvel. Are you saying Marvel of Disney's the Fantastic? What the fuck? It's Disney Marvel. Fantastic Four. First Steps has come in with an estimated 218 million global opening. While this is lower than where we saw it yesterday, it remains above the pre-weekend projection, both worldwide and in terms of the international box office. That landed at 100 million, the top end of our pre-opening prediction. The overseas debut is 13% ahead of Thunderbolts Asterisk, 11%. Oh, wow. That's all. 11% ahead of Superman and 4% above Captain America Brave New World in like-for-like markets at current rates. That's not as outstanding. The Fantastic Four folks also scored the biggest superhero opening of 2025 in Mexico. I wonder how many slave cartel children were allowed to go to see Fantastic Four. The UK. I wonder how many slave children were allowed to go see Fantastic Four in the UK. That's not supposed to be funny. France. I won't say it again. Italy, Spain, and even and the European and Latin American regions, as well as several smaller markets. Well, that's great. The offshore take of 100 million is about 46% of the global total. Normally, in this genre, we see overseas numbers much higher than domestic, but that's not been the case recently. See Superman's bow at 43% from overseas. It is a sign. Is it a sign of the times, or have the properties or their vague or other vagaries? Is it the sign of the time or the properties or other vagaries? I can read. I have to read around power chords, but that, I mean, I still can't read. Likely a mix of those, but Hollywood is also facing challenges in Asia. We've known for a long time now that China is not the slam dunk it once was, and that's factored into consideration. Well, okay, here's a conspiracy theory. China lured in America, threw up all these crazy numbers, which, I mean, were they real? Were they real box office numbers, or were they all first one's free, kid? Come into China. Let's take a look at all of your intellectual property that we can fucking copy and then kick you to the curb. It's just a theory. It's a conspiracy theory. This weekend is perhaps an anomaly because there is a huge movie, Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Infinity Castle. What the fuck? 87 million through Sunday in Japan. So that was heavily promoted at Comic-Con. The Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba Infinity Castle just rolls off the tongue for us Western dipshits. On it wasn't the Hilton, but it's the building to the right facing the con. So it's the most prominent ad at the con was Demon Slayer. In Japan, also new local title, Korea, Omniscient Reader. All boats rise, but there's still a rethink needed for audience in that region. So Japan, China. I think you're done in China. I think China's a waste of time. This is food for thought that we'll revisit. But speaking of a movie that's doing better domestically than overseas, Warner Brothers Superman has topped the $500 million milestone, now at 502.7 worldwide, including 213.2 from international. It is crazy that this movie is tracking stateside to do really well, and the international numbers are going to bring it down. That's nuts. When that's not happened to any Superman movie before. But we're kind of seeing that with Fantastic Four, and let's be clear, that was a mid-opening. Now, I would argue Superman, directed by James Gunn, should do better internationally, should do better. It's doing great now, should have had a better opening weekend because he's more well-known, and it's the launch of the DCU. And the Fantastic Four worldwide is not as popular as Superman. Fantastic Four started out really strong, kind of petered on Saturday a little bit and Sunday, and that's why it fell behind Superman. And lo and behold, big shocker. A couple of mid-movies kind of underperformed on their first weekend. Now, is Fantastic Four going to have the amazing domestic holds of Superman? We'll see. We'll find out today. On the flip side, Universal Ambulance Jurassic World Rebirth has topped 700 million globally, with a heftier overseas haul of 416.8 million. while Apple original films F1 via Warner Brothers has spent to 509 million. Should have made more, to be honest with you. Worldwide, with a 344.1 million coming in from the international box office, which is no surprise. It didn't do well enough in the United States. It's the best movie of the summer, like by a long shot. And then they break down all this other stuff, but we'll see what those we'll see how much good news for Fantastic Four and Superman, which is there's not anything really coming for the rest of the year. I mean, it's like, Naked Gun, rated R comedy. What else is Nobody 2? But this month there's nothing. Like August, there's nothing. So summer movie season is over. It feels like it just started and it's over. And it's over. Now we're in the dog days of summer. Man, it feels like summer. Oh, I've been traveling half of it. That's why. Okay. How y'all doing, by the way? Let's get to some of these new ones, and then we're going to jump over to Star Trek. Did you go to the Dexter Resurrection panel? Asked Eddie Brock. I did not. I did not attend any panels. I have a strong aversion to waiting in line. Nothing. When I was younger, I was fine with it. Now that I have a little less time on this earth, it's like I can watch it online. I can buy it on eBay. I don't need to waste time in line. But yeah, there was the only thing I would have wanted to see is probably George. I didn't need to see James Gunn bloviating up there, and getting us ready for Peacemaker season 2. Hey, all, says Kenneth LaRock. Hey, what's up? Thanks for being a member for 23 months. Can you ask your Marvel informer why John Malkovich was cut from Fantastic Four as Red Ghost? Also, will you be including people's names when signing your books? I can't personalize. I opened my mouth too early for that one. It's going to be too hard to personalize, but you can always meet me and I'll do it. I'll see. We could hang out. So yes, I was told why John Malkovich was cut. I was told. And it's a very simple answer. It didn't flow well enough. So the intro, that montage intro, did feature other villains, be it CGI, but like he was there. John Malkovich was definitely there, and they just it didn't flow well enough. So that's why he got cut out. Wasn't anything more than that. John Heimerl, did I say Heimerl? Heimerl has become a member. Hail, John. But yeah, Eddie, if I see you at a meetup or something like that, I got you, man. Shout out from Eddie Brock 9043 for $5.99. Shout out to Nina Infinity as she was in the hospital last week. What for? Hope she's okay. Any plans on bringing her Melanie Mack back, a guest on Real BBC FNT? You never know. You never know. I hope she's okay. All the best. Abigor has been a member for 28 months. Did you ever think in a million years that you would see a puppet episode that is canon in Star Trek made by people who own the IP but despise it? Is this question pre-Kurtzman Trek or post? Because I can completely believe Kurtzman Trek would rip off something that's been done in not just Buffy, not just Angel, but in other shows. But it's specifically most well known in the great Ben Edlund episode of Angel, one of the best, Smile Time. No, it doesn't surprise me. Kurtzman Trek rips shit off. They are famous for ripping shit off. They are outright, in my opinion, intellectual property thieves. They thieve from novels without giving credit. They thieve from video games. In Star Trek Picard, they use stock imagery in their special effects. In my humble opinion, they thieved from Anas Abdin, a pixel artist who created a game that had a big blue tardigrade. And they just were able to beat them because they had more money. In my opinion, I could be wrong. But you never know. What do I know? What the hell do I know? They, in my opinion, they stole from Mass Effect in Picard season 1, and go to the Major Grin channel. I cannot recommend this channel enough. Major Grin will show you things canonically that they have gotten wrong, things that they have taken from other franchises, things they have taken from within the Trek franchises, damn near in chronological order. Major Grin. His channel is good for humanity. I assume it's a him. Both late and gay. Very late and very gay. Captain Positive Negro. Well, thank you, X-Ray Girl. She says you look very clear. So you can see how fucking old I am. Thank you. No, she didn't say that part. Time blind and queer. So is Gary. Yes. Engine. Oh, engine in my factory. I think there's a video of that. Hang on. Was that Release the McCracken? I don't want to I'm pretty sure I bookmarked that, X-Ray Girl. Let's take a look. Yeah, of course I did. There we go. X-Ray Girl's got so many side hustles now. It's kind of crazy. All right. It's kind of crazy. I must not be working her hard enough. You guys ready?
In my factory. Many engine in my factory. If you need the many engine, you can tell me. I want to take a lot of engine.
How much you get for that, X-Ray Girl? Just curious. I know it's not cool to ask how much you got paid, but
I was hoping that video would never surface. God damn it.
You were in college, you needed the money. Oh, thanks, X-Ray Girl. Great performance, by the way. Oh, and it's factory. Okay. Just wanted to point that out. Yeah, the song's kind of catchy. Engine in my, yep, bag of tree. Will the second book be Waiting for Nerdrotic Live? Considering where the book ends, nah. I pretty much, well, I mean, the book could have been like 2,000 pages, and we did get some extra pages in, but we kind of streamlined it. So, and that way you can read the book and then you get a little extra in the audiobook. I get to riff a little bit, but it might be snacks for $2. It might be, it very well might be. Thanks for being here. Progressive laptop. It was. My laptop just decided to not recognize my microphone anymore. It's just like I don't want to recognize it anymore. We don't claim you, microphone. It got exiled. Hail, Big Worm, been a member for 21 months. Mets pods tonight, Gary. We agree. The Dodgers suck. The Dodgers suck. Hope Padres kick the Mets ass, but with all due respect. Might be the latest gayest you have ever been in a long time. In a long time. Did you the Jim Hadar with Klingon marking woman in Star Trek The Academy trailer? How the hell did that happen? We will get to that. We will get to that. What was this? Yeah. Oh, yeah. The amusement park. Dude, we could do. Oh, that'd be fun, Perry. Prison. You could have like a bunch of prison rides, right? A bunch of prison like surviving the shower, all kinds of fun stuff. The little kids could go over and learn how to make shanks. It'd be fun. Oh, nerd. Bro. Dude. Oh, I agree with that one. The Jim Hadar is going to be trans. He is going to be pointed out in DS9 that there are no. Oh, God. They're going to use it as an allegory for sure. Sassy black woman would be more masculine than Pedro Pascal. Johnny Mumbles. For sure. For sure. Based on the Starfleet trailer, I just want to say that I, for one, welcome our soon-to-be Romulan overlords. I do too. George Perez Adventures of Superman worth reading? Yes. Absolutely. Kurtzman's true sin is worse than just making Star Trek bad. He made Star Trek dumb. Yes. We mentioned that long ago. I mean, it's inexplicable now. Listen, Kurtzman's still to blame, but you cannot blame him because the higher ups keep giving him shit to do. And the guy's like a poser. He's a fraud. He's making this bastardized, ripped off, bad copy. And it's, well, if you took a retarded person who's never seen Star Trek and gave him a show, you get Kurtzman Trek. That's what you get. And the bean counters keep giving him stuff to do and keep saying yes to him. So it's their fault too. And that's why Paramount, the left is freaking out because Colbert got fired. Colbert got fired because his company is going through a merger because it's massively in debt because it was run into the ground by fucking retards, including Sherry Redstone, who was considered the smart person. Turns out she's dumb as fuck. Dumb as fuck. Because if that merger didn't go through, Paramount would be dead. It had to go through. So they're all, you're bending the knee to the Trump administration for the settlement. And you know how they never mentioned what the settlement was about? The settlement was about a politically motivated, edited propaganda piece created by media that is not supposed to be state propaganda. And they got busted and they settled because they were going to get more busted. And they also needed this thing to go through. Now, one can argue one should not have anything to do with the other. Well, interesting. Didn't hear much from Hollywood when it concerned censoring us on social media. Didn't hear much from Hollywood when every network sounded the same. Didn't hear much from Hollywood when it was proven that masks don't work. Haven't heard anything from Hollywood about that. Didn't hear much from Hollywood during the Biden administration that there were CIA assets in Twitter, meaning there are CIA assets in Facebook, Instagram, Google, Disney, Warner Brothers, Amazon, any place that provides information, be it fictional or non-fictional. Most of it is fictional, by the way. Didn't hear much from them about that, about the Constitution and free speech and blah, 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 blah. Didn't hear a fucking thing. As a matter of fact, I heard it was consequence culture, not cancel culture. So it's this constant back and fucking forth. And what we said 4 years ago, 8 years ago, is once the precedent is set, once you destroy the First Amendment, once you start spying on the people, once you start censoring them, once you start canceling their accounts over their opinions on, you can't even call it a vaccine, can't even call it an experimental vaccine, a fucking deadly shot. When you were questioning an election, when you were doing all these things that you're supposed to be able to do in a free society, and then the government was going in and removing you, and then that was continued, and now like all of a sudden the far left is anti-government and corporation again when they were completely fucking silent for the last 4 years. What happens is precedent gets set, and once they can do something to one side, the other side will do the very same thing. And then we start chipping away at the Constitution. We start chipping away at our rights, chipping away at our freedoms, while these two sides constantly fucking squabble. And you know who gets fucked? Us. Every time. Because when the squabbling's over, the higher ups, the elites, gonna keep all their shit. They might throw one to the dogs here and there. Not likely, though. Not likely. And we warned the left, hey, you're being that whole slippery slope, and you're being really fucking quiet about the censorship of citizens, not of Colbert. They got more upset about Colbert than citizens being censored. So fuck those hypocrites. They're retards. They're stupid. They're disingenuous. It is just one side fighting the other. If they had any consistency, they would have given a shit. But they didn't. But they care about Colbert. They came after one of their own who they would stab in the back in a fucking second. They're just worried it's about to happen to them. And I hope it does. Because as we said for a long time, what's inevitable is you're going to run out of money. You're going to run out of money. All this DEI and all this fucking bullshit came from venture capitalists, and their money's drying up, and we're seeing crap. I can't even call media public. Rags like Kotaku and stuff are all going to start fucking dying. And they did it to themselves because they came out against you because they all thought they were writing for each other. They all were writing for each other. They were all part of some club. And what they forgot is we pay for everything. We actually pay for everything. You can get floated by a venture capitalist for a couple of years, 3 years, sometimes 5, but it don't last forever. You know what brings longevity and legacy? Customers. Repeat customers. You need those customers. You know, all those toxic people you were accusing, that's half of your potential readers. When you have fat retards out there writing for the Mary Sue, and they need you to click on those Rachel Leichman, you need them to my favorite person, big Doctor Who fan, I heard, still waiting to see that Doctor Who collection, Rachel. They need you to click on the ads, but not that toxic person. Listen, everybody's welcome here. We can argue, we can fight, but you're welcome here. I don't consider fandom toxic. I consider it passionate. But yeah, that's where Paramount is. Everybody's all fucking upset about Colbert, but they weren't upset about their customers getting censored. You think they would be like, hey, man, these are our paying customers. We should probably look out for them. They don't give a fuck. So that's why Hollywood is in the state it's in. Legacy media is in the state it's in. It's dying slowly. And in the words of Kirk, at this point, let them die. Something new will take its place. The scripted film is going to become kind of this novelty thing. Like, oh, remember when they used to make up stories? And people who have put their entire livelihoods, their entire identity into making scripted entertainment are now faced with, oh, nothing does last forever. You know, it's kind of like an athlete at the end of his career. Except this is an industry that they thought would last forever. And, you know, it's got years and years and years left, but it's got an expiration date. When they didn't, and we warned them, we fucking warned them. All hail all guy. Get up there. Hello, guys. Don't forget to get your Serenity 20th Anniversary Steelbook 4K and make sure when you work with a woman, do what the feminist Pedro does. Yeah, when you start feeling a little anxiety, Mexi Rage, just grab him in the ass. See what happens. I want to start my own YouTube channel, but I'm extremely nervous about it. How do you overcome this? Any advice, tech? How am I doing? Cannibal the Dragon's been a member for 4 months. Okay. Quickly, get a good mic. Get a good mic. You could probably get a Rodecaster on eBay. My mic is a LCT 240 Pro. It's made by the people who made Shure. And it's like $150. It's not 400. This is plenty of mic that you need. I have EV. I have all the other ones. This one's the best. This one's the best. I'm doing good. I've been doing this long enough to where I don't get nervous anymore. Well, probably because I'm not very professional, so I don't have much to worry about. Right? When it doesn't work. That's the only, when things don't work is the only time I get concerned. That's about it. When they start working, I'm like, cool. Yeah, you could have the rest. That was way too much. That was a big burrito. I'm in a hotel room with my family, so sorry. How do I overcome just streaming a lot and like not worrying about it? I mean, we're all amongst friends here. And I think where streaming has it like 1,000 times over TV, because TV is so scripted and based on time and getting as much information in as possible before that next ad break. And you have to have people who aren't really good with basically improv. They have to read everything. They can't think on the fly. It's so rigid, and it worked for so long. But now we're just like, who gives a shit? I'm going to go on the T-shirt I wore yesterday and slept in. I don't care. I'm like a toddler. I don't care. I don't give a shit. And we're just going to talk to each other. So, and they can't be, and we could go as long as we want. We don't have to worry about ad breaks. Some of us are pretty good off the cuff. Some of us aren't. Some days are good. Some days aren't. Some streams are great. Some streams aren't. So what? We're just going to have fun. Have fun. That's the key. And as far as the nervousness, it's going to be there. It's going to be there for a while, but it goes away. But if you're nervous about making mistakes, you're going to make mistakes, and it's fine. It's fine to make mistakes, and you're going to get roasted for them, and you just laugh. That's all you can do. because it's kind of funny. White Rose Republic for £5 always loved Trey and Matt, but I didn't need that episode. UK Patriots would kill for Trump. Our culture, our values, we're losing it all. Fight. Yeah, it wasn't anywhere near one of their best episodes, but they like Trump's not a sacred cow. There's points to be made about like they went really soft or not at all on Biden, and plausible deniability, which I don't buy completely, is they were in rights issues pretty much the entirety of the president. But if you go to their COVID episode, that was fucking weak. And I called them out for it at the time. I'm like, that was weak. Their COVID episode was straight up ballless. Trey and Matt, no balls on that COVID one. And they never came out and did it again. We probably know where they stand politically. I think they used to be libertarian. A lot of libertarians don't love Trump, but Trump's not a sacred cow. And like, if it was funnier, the woke is dead stuff was funny. That was pretty funny with Kurtzman, but and I did laugh at the end of the episode because it was just so over the fucking top, like just over the top. But like, my hope is that we don't start acting like the progressive left, or I'll say I'll use my I statements here. My hope is I don't get all butthurt like the fucking left does. Because one of the biggest problems in this country is it has a giant stick up its ass and it can't be funny or make fun. People make fun of Trump and his accent all the time. Hollywood rips Trump and Christians all the time. It's basic bitch. It's boring at this point. It's not innovative. And that shit was old 20 fucking years ago. I agree with you that. But we are talking about a show that did make a couple episodes about Muhammad. Okay. So like, there's that. They had the balls to do that. I dare them to do it again. If you want to be all ballsy, I dare them to do it again. But I just hate to see the right go down the path of the left where like there's some sacred cow and you can't make fun of shit. It's like, we got to be able to laugh at ourselves, and you might not like it, but at least like it should be allowed, because that's what we've been arguing. We've been arguing for balance. And we haven't had that balance yet. We'll see. Don't expect it from Hollywood though. Like, really don't. It's like, sorry guys, it's like expecting getting Epstein files. We were never going to get Epstein files. I doubt they put much on paper. And if they did, it was fucking shit canned years and years and years ago. It was burned, shit canned, and everybody who memorized it. I think that was lofty expectations for something we were never going to get. It's, you know what? And I have experience in this because I'm a UFO guy. So every year we hear about disclosure. It's going to happen. There's records. I promise you, there's parts of the government that were certain things are just verbal commands. As a matter of fact, there's people in intelligence in the chat right now who could probably confirm this. There's just verbal commands. They don't put anything on paper. They don't record anything because it'd be stupid. You kind of treat it like an oral mythology, right? Before they had writing. I'm guessing that way. I voted for Trump. I think he fucked up big time with the Epstein stuff, but I don't care if people make fun of him. I really don't, especially if it's South Park. Now, if you want to like put a Trump allegory into Captain America or something like that, I'm going to call that shit out every time. Every time. South Park is a parody show where they rip on people. And did they go extra hard on Trump? They sure fucking did. So what? I think they went light on us in the Panderstone episode, the critics of Kathleen Kennedy. I would think they went super light on us. I was kind of expecting a little more, to be honest with you. But I just say, you know what? There's shit to get upset over. There's plenty of shit to get. South Park ain't it. South Park, in my opinion. I could be wrong. Since you're an old school punker, did you visit 924 Gilman Street in Berkeley? Saw Operation Ivy there. Did you have a Do you have a local band where you lived? Now, I didn't. I was when I was an old school punk rocker. I was in San Diego. Melissa's been to Gilman Street. Mrs. Rancid, and it was like going to band prance. I was going down to places like Soma and Iguanas, right? So, a local. What was a good local? Incognito was a new wave band. A good local. Hair Theater was like a alternative band. The local. I don't know. Pitchfork. Pitchfork was our local band. Was our local punk rock band. That was pretty good. Pitchfork down in San Diego. But Fishbone was down here a lot. We saw all the LA bands, but yeah, I was Wabash Hall, going to Dead Kennedys, get my ass kicked by skinheads. That's why Jesse was telling that story yesterday of the big skinhead, like the super tall one, and he'd hang out with like the midget one. It was such a weird thing. It was like this. It's like that bulldog and the little dog from the Looney Tunes, but it was skinhead. So it was like a giant skinhead and then a small skinhead. And Jesse was like, yeah, they were cool, man. Well, they fucking hated my guts. Dude, I got smacked by the big one. But yeah, Pitchfork down here in the San Diego days. That's one I liked a lot. I like the Pitchfork. But we were telling stories that there was a club here called Soma, and they had an upstairs and a downstairs. And this band played downstairs, and they were fucking awful. I remember listening to the singer screeching, and I'm like, I walked up, and my friend JD was up there. I'm like, that is the worst shit I have ever fucking heard, and I'm high as fuck right now. And it was Soundgarden. Early days. Have you ever played City of Heroes? If so, what did you think of the lore story characters? I did. I played it a lot in the comic store, and I freaking loved it. Loved it. And I got to create my own characters. All right, we're going to get to... I got to do this Star Trek stuff. Let's see if I can share it. I might be able to if I close some windows. I mean, we'll get hit, but who gives a shit? Oh, does Lady Greenmaster have the trailer? She probably does in Discord, right? In Discord. One moment. No updates on box office yet. There we go. There it is. There it is. Okay. We'll start this up. I don't know how accurate it is, but I got the best compliment, a professional compliment that I've ever gotten as far as like how I do my work. And it was from, I won't say what station, big LA radio station. Big LA radio station guy who was an engineer there for 30 years says, you're better than half the talent on our radio station, and we'd hire you over any of them. I'm like, whoa, that's cool. That's fucking cool. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. Then I said you couldn't afford me. I'm just kidding. Well, it's radio. So what do they make now? I know they brought Kumia back on radio, and I'm glad they did that. He kind of belongs there, but it was a big. I was like, that was like, whoa, the station I listen to a lot. So where in the hell am I going here? I totally lost track of where. Hopefully, you're keeping track of. Oh, you are. That's your job. But you're doing a good job. All right, let's see where I left off. All right, Starfleet Academy. Talking about Mystique. We ready? I'm ready. Let's go. Oh,
So,
kind of a poopy looking San Francisco. Accurate. It's got, yeah, it's supposed to be magic hour, but like, look at how dingy and dark it looks. Accurate. It's to cover up bad special effects.
and so, we begin.
Ugh. There's the clock tower at the port. Hey, where's the giant naked woman statue that's supposed to be right there? Where is it? Maybe they got rid of it because it's a woman. It should be a fat Jem'Hadar.
I'm Captain Nala Ake,
What was their name? I'm Captain Black.
Chancellor of Starfleet Academy. I'm Captain Nala Ake,
Nala Ake?
Chancellor of Starfleet Academy. We're all the first Academy class to return to our campus in San Francisco after more than 120 years.
Oh, and so this is the first Academy after 120 years. Is it because of the dilithium crisis? Right? The dilithium crisis. I mean, I stopped with Star Trek Discovery after the retarded Kelpian kid cried for his mama, and dilithium, because he grew up near it, had somehow contaminated him on a cellular level to where his emotions confect dilithium, a fuel source, throughout the universe. And when he had a temper tantrum, he stepped on a Lego. You're right. When he had a temper tantrum, he destroyed every ship that uses dilithium. Now, not every ship used dilithium. And the people who had those ships that didn't use dilithium probably could have taken over the universe, but they didn't bring that up. Never mind. So I'm guessing that was the crisis. The Breen attack. I wasn't sure like what happened after that. Unless they're trying to go back into Star Trek canon, which I don't count this as. So my knowledge level of Star Trek Discovery stops at a certain point because I stopped watching it. Disbrew is right. Where did Disbrew go? Where'd he go? Romulans, even what was left of the Romulans, because remember Disbrew. But the Romulans, no, it would have been, wait a minute. Star Trek Discovery started before Star Trek, but then ends after Star Trek. So the Romulans would have jumped at the chance to take over. Absolutely correct. We mentioned that in our reviews. But unless something else happened, that's the last thing I remember happening. I could be wrong. I don't really care at this point. Shark Fleet Academy. Yes. But see, the showrunners weren't aware that not every ship ran on dilithium, and never mind. At this point, I just say, never mind. I just stop at this point going, for a couple of years, I'm like, how could these guys not be aware? And then I'm like, oh, they just don't care. Their total awareness of Star Trek is watching YouTube video clips and reading Wikipedia. They had a dude who was offering to help them every single day, who's like a fucking encyclopedia. His name is Robert Meyer Burnett. Probably would have done it for a song, a sandwich, a back rub. Not from Pedro, but from somebody else. He would have done it. There was people, and there was people who did work in there on the technical side who knew Star Trek better than any of the writers, who were like, we're trying, man. We're trying. And I felt bad for them. They eventually left by smart people because they couldn't do it anymore. Like smart people. So they're returning to the campus of San Francisco.
Some of you are here for your families, some for yourselves. Together, you are the best and the brightest from across the galaxy.
That, I mean, you know what I'm getting from all these is best and brightest. So you're getting like, look at this. Look at that. Vaguely Asian woman.
Best and the bright.
Mandatory overweight black woman, probably lesbian.
From across
diversity man.
The galaxy.
Pretty boy Klingon. Lesbians.
A tapestry that is Starfleet.
Other Klingons are like, you got a pretty mouth, boy. To that one. What the fuck? The tapestry that is Starfleet, like an AIDS tapestry. Like the AIDS blanket of Star Trek. Look at that. Oh my God. We're like in Star Trek and stuff. And we're going to learn things at the Academy because this is like the Harry Potter Star Trek, because I love it when they take storied franchises and compare them to other storied franchises. It's my favorites. The AIDS blanket of Star Trek.
Starfleet. You will learn the skills.
Holy shit. There's a suspicious amount of women on the screen right now. I think somebody counted on Twitter. I'm going to count right now. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to be sure on a couple. Okay. So we're going to go left to right, staring at the screen. We got 1, 2, 3. I'm pretty sure the one up front is a dude, but who knows? We'll count it as a dude. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Is that a girl in the back on the right? 13. I'm going to say yes. Based on that mouth, that's a girl. So 13 of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Oh, that's, you know what? That torso right there, that's definitely a woman. So we're going to say 14 of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 14. Oh, wait, no. There's a little arm right here on the left. That's a woman too. Now I got to start my count over again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 out of 18. Just to double check it. I got an Asian here who can double check that too. 14 out of 18. So apparently during the dilithium crisis, it also killed all the straight white men. All the straight white men and the dilithium died. And you know, and it makes sense because only the straight white men knew how to operate a warp engine. So it kind of checks out. Holy fuck. This is so bad. Skydance was you ended up giving Trey and Matt what they wanted, and you took your eyes off the ball. You should be shit-canning the Skydance. Is it Ellison? Who the fuck runs Skydance? Dude. So, hey, some dude whose dad is a rich tech daddy who's running Skydance. I know you're watching the stream right now. I need you to listen to this 55-year-old nerd in a hotel room in Los Angeles Cancel Kurtzman Trek. Erase it from history. Erase all of it. Erase. Listen, I like Picard season 3. Erase all of it. Whoosh, gone. Ellison. It's Larry Ellison as his dad. So little Ellison. I don't think Skydance improves anything. I will believe it when I see it. I can hear all the bullshit about DEI going away because you know what? It is going away. They're relabeling it. But I'll believe it when I see it. Same with Zaslav. Zaslav's based. He's doing all these things. I'll believe it when I see it. Black Snake tells me otherwise. But just in case you're listening and you give a shit what anybody in this chat says, forget me. Everybody will say, get rid of Kurtzman. Every single person. He's got no supporters. Nobody likes his Star Trek. It costs you millions of dollars. The problem is, I think they just shit can it at this point. But holy crap. Look at that. The absolute state of Star Trek. Kurtzman Trek.
That shaped our greatest officers.
He's probably gay. Service. To be of service.
Like them.
Oh, duty, loyalty, honor. You mean like Michael Burnham? The mutinous Michael Burnham? Who broke as many orders as she did cried? Oh, God, Robert Picardo, don't.
I'll ask you to give more of yourselves than you knew you had. To dream without limitations.
Oh, my God, listen to this fucking... Okay,
like
here's this saccharine level fucking Hallmark card retard writing that we've been getting from Akiva Goldsman and his gaggle of ninnies who fucking write soap operas. Akiva Goldsman is such a fucking hack. Is such a hack. So let's see. You will learn skills that shape
our greatest officers.
You will learn skills that shaped our greatest officers.
Like them, we'll ask you to give more of yourselves.
Like them, we'll ask you to give more of yourselves
Than you knew you had. To dream without limitations.
To dream without limitations.
Whatever challenges came before today.
I mean, I've read smarter shit in my fortune cookies, which suck now, by the way. Whatever challenges came before.
You here now.
You here now. Me like Star Trek.
You weave together the future.
You weave together the future. Oh my God. Thank God. Oh my God. Fan favorite Tig Notaro, who elevates absolutely everything she's in, like Star Trek and Army of the Dead, being snarky lesbian woman, which really is just differentiates herself from all the other snarky lesbians who try to look like 14-year-old boys and just look like old women trying to look like 14-year-old boys. But oh my God, she's so funny because she's a lesbian and stuff.
So go out and...
Oh, well, okay. What the fuck is that? This needs an entire video. I'll just say this is Kurtzman Trek, ladies and gentlemen. This is Kurtzman Trek. Body positivity. Jemadar. It's a fat black woman. The simplest answer is always the best. I'm dying. What do you think of this dipshit? It's a fat black woman. Oh, it's a black female Jemadar. She fat. God damn it. At this point, I want him to keep making it. It's so fucking funny. Like, I'm actually going to review this show. It is like, Az and I were talking about this yesterday. I'm like, oh, I'm back, baby. I'm coming back for this one. Holy fucking shit. Oh, I almost came back for section 31. It just wasn't enough for me. But this, baby, I'm back. We're going to review this. It's going to be funny as hell. I might do live streams after every show. This looks fucking hilarious. God damn. I mean, like, this, if anything, you know, when I leave this mortal coil and I leave my legacy behind, and hopefully my library is up on YouTube. You can go back and watch Az, older Midnight's Edge. You can watch Disparu. You can watch yours truly, many others. Chronicle the fall of Star Trek, and it should be in the annals of history. If you want to know, like, what happened to Hollywood, this is it. What happened to the BBC? Go to Doctor Who. What happened to, like, we had our own, you know, for such a young country. I was just talking to Drinker, and he was clowning us on how young we are, but it's true. For such a young country, like, what happened to our mythology? And it's all been chronicled right here. And it's all gets summed up with the big black female Jemadar. I'm sounding like Shatner. I'm sorry. We did have Stacey Abrams. Now, she was the president of Planet Earth. I was mistaken. I thought Quatrina VR, she was playing Planet Earth. I was mistaken. Now, she was miscast. She should have been Planet Earth. Yeah, she's half Klingon too. What? All right. We're just going to continue. I'm fatigued. I was too, but this is so there's a point where it gets, I mean, this is a parody. This is a walking, talking parody that doesn't know it. That's some of the best shit to review on planet Earth. This brew will back me up on that. And many others will.
Seek. Explore. Boldly go where no one has gone before.
Fuck off. You shut your whore mouth. I don't want to hear that coming out of your mouth. And I don't care if you're a famous actress who's been in some of my favorite movies.
It is my great honor to welcome you all to Starfleet Academy.
Wow, you guys all fired up. Hey, at least they didn't end the at least they in the trailer going, "We'll all do this together." Because like every fucking Star Trek trailer had this, we're gonna do this together. This is the worst part. Oh my God, he's whistling the Star Trek theme. It's so meta. Fuck off. God damn, I hate Kurtzman. And the reason we hate him is because he can't keep getting away with this. Dude, the guy's a fraud, and he's got no soul. He's got no integrity. He's got no fucks to give, which is perfect for modern Hollywood. So respect for not giving a shit that Roberto Orsi, may he rest in peace, was the only guy in your cabal who knew anything about Star Trek. Not that he was great at it, okay? But he's the only one who liked Star Trek and knew anything about it. You kicked him to the curb. Then he later died. You fucking crossed a picket line for striking. I don't really care. Fuck that. Kurtzman hates Jar Jar Abrams now, and the feeling is mutual, which is great. I'm here for them burning each other down. But honestly, Kurtzman's got more work than Jar Jar Abrams. And at least Jar Jar Abrams did a couple of good things. Kurtzman got coffee on the set of Xena. But here's the kicker. Here's the biggest kicker of them all. I want you to listen, Star Wars fans, because this one's going to hurt a little bit. And it should. Star Trek fans, despite all of this fucking Kurtzman retardation, Star Trek fans got something Star Wars fans didn't, because Kurtzman decided to fuck off and go make The Man Who Fell to Earth, and took his eyes off of Star Trek and just gave it to, said like, we got to do this obligatory Picard season 3. And this Picard didn't work out as well as we wanted to, mainly because I wrote it and everybody fucking hated it. So we promised Patrick another season. He's getting $1 million an episode. I'm not going to give you guys shit for a budget. You're not even going to shoot it in 4K. It's going to be basically on sets. Do whatever you want, Terry Metalis. Do whatever you want. First thing he does is gets rid of most of the cast of Picard. Can't get rid of everybody, though. And that's the black female. So he gets rid of everybody. Immediately retcons the kinder and gentler retarded Borg. And tries to make something out of a box of scraps that were pissed and shit on. And he does a pretty good job. Makes a 7 out of 10 series that I enjoyed. And he did the one thing Star Trek fans have been waiting for. It's a simple thing. And man, did they do some gymnastics to get there. Some fan service gymnastics to get there. And I don't care. I don't give a shit. It was great. We got the crew of the Next Generation on the Enterprise D. Straight up, bright lights, carpet, chef's kiss. Great fucking scene. Great scene. By the way, all the people under a certain age were caught up in a mind virus, which I loved. A Borg mind virus. Absolutely loved that part. And we got that. So, people like it actually brought the fandom together for the most part. Like people who are going at each other's fucking throats for years were like, hey, we like this. We all like this. Most of us, not everybody. Not everybody liked it. And that's fine. Like, God rest his soul, Clobby. He didn't like it. Okay. He didn't like it, but I did. And I wish I had another chance to debate him on this, because that would change his mind. But yeah, not everybody liked it, but most people liked it. And they're like, hey, we got 7 and 9. We got Picard's kid. We can bring in DS9 people, Voyager people. Let's do Star Trek Legacy on this new retrofitted. And it's now officially the Enterprise. And the ship looked fucking good because it was based on a Constitution class, which is still the sexiest ship as... I like the D, the Enterprise D. That's getting cut. I like the Enterprise D. It's a little bloated, but I like it. But it's sleek, sexy, retrofit, Constitution class Enterprise. I like my ship porn. We had ship porn in this. All right, ship porn, not shit porn. Ship porn. Yeah, so we're going to get the show called Legacy, and everybody wanted it. And Picard season 3 was winning awards and critical acclaim, saying the best Star Trek in year, which it was. Like, everybody was pretty much down. We're like, okay, let's go with this. That you did something right. Kurtzman fucking hated it. Absolutely fucking hated it. What I heard, I can't confirm this or anything, that there was a back and forth of a possibility of getting the show, but it was really half-hearted. Really half-hearted. And then Terry Mattel's left. He just left. He said, screw this. I got other shit to do. He's making that Vision Quest series now, last I heard. So, and the show that took priority, that's being shot in 4K, is Starfleet Academy, the show you just watched. And it's the Harry Potter. It was pitched as the Harry Potter of Star Trek. So if you ever wonder to yourself, well, Hollywood's supposed to be like rarefied air. It's kind of, being an artist, being a musician, an illustrator, comic book artist, filmmaker. These are not things everybody can do. These are rare talents, rare things. We can have the desire all day long to do these things, but not the ability, which sucks. But that means you can work peripherally and stuff. But like being the artist, the writer, the director, with the actual talent, rarefied air. It's supposed to be meritocracy. Like, it encapsulates it. If you ain't good, you get the fuck out. These are supposed to be the best of the best in Hollywood, and at Marvel Comics, and at DC Comics, and at publishing, and blah, 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 blah. Not the case anymore. Not the case anymore. Like back in the day, not too long ago, for like, man, I think I could do better than them. We were probably wrong. We were wrong. I'm not going to say probably. We were wrong. Now, if you're out there and you're like, I think I could do better than them, you're probably right. You're probably right. Give it a shot. Because I have read fanfic better than Kurtzman. Not that I've read a ton. I used to work at a comic store. People bring it in. I'd be standing right there. Like, would you read it? I'm like, sure. But you know what we're going to get? Let's share this before we get to soups. And we have, I got to hurry. Might be a two-parter. I'm on a tight schedule today. What is Disparu just shared, I can't tell if Kotaku is making fat jokes. Star Trek Starfleet Academy looks so morbidly positive. Oh my God. Here. Okay. I have to share this because I just had to. This is the dumbest thing I've seen in a long time. Nope, that's not what I want to share. Strange New World showrunners, being Akiva Goldsman, have a name for follow-up Star Trek series set on Kirk's Enterprise. This is a thought experiment. I want you to think about this for a minute. The Strange New World showrunners, which takes place before Kirk's Enterprise, have a name for the series set on Kirk's Enterprise. Would that name be Star Trek? I just put up, they don't know. And at this point, we shouldn't tell them. We just shouldn't tell them. The fact that I've had to point out to a couple people that there was a show called Star Trek filmed in 1966 that took place on Kirk's Enterprise. I had a guy actually ask Grok what I meant by the joke, which really was one of my closest to being blackpilled I've ever been. What they'll probably call it, and we saw like Star Trek, fanfic. I think Star Trek Kirk. They'll call it Star Trek Kirk. But what it'll be is slash fiction. So old guys out there, you know what I'm talking about. They're actually just going to adapt the slash fiction. What's the slash fiction? Well, it's what many call the precursor or the creator of fan fiction, which is entirely 100% untrue, because there was fan fiction of properties forever, long before Star Trek ever existed. All you have to do is, just get into the letters exchanged by Robert E. Howard or H.P. Lovecraft or any of those days. There was fan fiction back then too. But slash fiction was, correct me if I'm wrong, chat, a perverted old lady who wanted to write about Kirk and Spock being gay. Well, she's an old lady now. She was a perverted young lady. Fanfic. In other words, savvy. Yes, it was savvy. The Kirk Awakens. Oh. The Kirk Awakens. That's good. Yeah, slash fiction. I'm here to tell you that, is it going to be the gayest Star Trek ever? Asked Perry. Yes. Fan fiction is kind of the bane of fans' existence. It's pretty bad. Me and Savvy can fight about that. I don't, you know what fan fiction is for? Yourself. I'm for you. Write it all day long. Do not share it. Do not put out in the public. Do not make it a thing. Because now Hollywood is writing fan fiction. And fan fiction sucks. Call it Spork. Savvy Starfleet Academy. Yeah, it's going to be slash fiction. The Last Picard. That's good. That's good. Oh, Star Trek heavy episode. It's been a while, but my God, I'm going to be reviewing some Star Trek, and it's called Starfleet Academy. I can't wait for, when's it come out? It says 26. Let's see. When's it come out? X-Ray Girl, look it up for me, please. While I get to the soups, this could very well be a two-parter because I do have a heart out today. And
it says that it's early 2026.
Okay. So we're probably getting Night of the Seven Kingdoms and Starfleet Academy early. Yeah, at least there's something coming out. No, I will not take that bet. The two dick Klingons. Chainmail Sean for a Klingon. Today is a good day to talk about my feelings. Gary volunteered 4 days at this year's San Diego Comic-Con. Chatted with you at the basic meetup last year. Missed the meetup Saturday night. Did you score a Tron Ares 9-inch nail vinyl hoodie and T-shirt? Next catch. I did not. I didn't catch any. I didn't get any freebies. I'd have probably wanted that because that was the Tron looks like the coolest thing. It's got. Oh my god, I think it's got potential to be girl bossy though. It really does. But stylistically, it looks amazing. It looks fucking great. And they had a light cycle on the floor. That was cool. Just stop defiling the corpse of Star Trek, says Channel Surf. I agree, sir. It was awesome seeing you, Joey. You are the man in the red hood. It's great seeing you, buddy. I need to interview Whitney Webb. Look her up. I will. GW for 30 shekels. Hey, Gary, do you think the real Starfleet, excuse me, hang on, coughing. I'm back. Do you think the real Starfleet would court-martial the entire Discovery crew? Yeah, I think they'd execute them. I think they would bring back executions and execute them. Using alien to propel the ship, violating the prime directive, not following superior officers constantly. Did you see the new Spartacus trailer? I did. Like a mattress that is too big for the door. They are gonna keep putting their shoulder into this and going nowhere. They are still trying to force us to accept this nonsense. So it's DEI. I don't have time to show it. I'll probably show it, but we'll show it on Real BBC tomorrow. It's a black female gladiator. And okay, for one, George R. R. Martin has female pit fighters, who all mostly fucking die horribly. I just want to point that out. Pretty Maris, she's not a pit. Pretty Maris is around. She's not a pit fire, but but in real life history, I got to talk to my boy Luke Caverns about this, but I'm pretty sure there was female gladiators, but I'm pretty sure they just fought other women. Correct me if I'm wrong. Pretty sure they fought other women. Because if they fought men, they were going to die. But we have, but aside from the actuallys that are going to come out there, it's a black female lead in Spartacus. The show is called Spartacus. Not Shaniquacus, Spartacus. Not Shenanacus, Spartacus. I want to see her go in the gladiator ring, tapping her nails. Shoot. Let's go. Wait. Hang on. Every time she goes out in the gladiator ring. It is the stupidest fucking thing I have seen since the last stupid thing, which was Starfleet Academy. So those two things coming out in the same day. Obviously, woke Hollywood still has some business to do. We're all done with it. Hell, half of Hollywood's done with it. But they still have to release some shit. And fucking Spartacus is one of my favorite shows. Love that show. Is Raimi involved in this one? That would make my heart hurt. Let me see. Blood and Ash, or whatever the fuck it's called. What's it called? Blood and Sand? No, that's not it. Blood and Sand's good. What's this one called? Spartacus, House of Usher. House of Asher. Dun, dun. stars. I want to see the full cast. Oh, bro, Stephen DeKnight, you slummed in this shit, bro, dude. Oh, oh my God. You couldn't have gone to Daredevil. You had to fucking, oh, dude, how the mighty have fallen. How the mighty have fallen. Stephen DeKnight wrote for some of this. It is sad. Okay. All right, we're going to get to as many FNT as we can today, and then we'll probably have to make it up Thursday because I only got a little bit of time and I just rambled on and on today. No comments out of you, Peanut Gallery. Where's Junior? Ah. She's all, hey, yeah, that never happens. All right, so we will start with we're going to get back to some new ones, and then we will. I'm going to do some FNT right now. Anonymous for $10 says, "Hey guys, my friend has a rare form of cancer and needs a transplant, but his insurance refuses to help. If anyone could spare $1 to help him, the GoFundMe and look it up as Help Quinn Get His Sister's Liver. Thanks." So it's Help Quinn Get His Sister's Liver on GoFundMe. And the insurance isn't helping that. And I bet it's that wonderful, like Obama insurance. Yeah, that sucks. God, that fucked insurance. Not that it was great to begin with, but man, it was better before then. Zodlander for $10. A best version of the trolley problem was Captain Harkness and we read this one on the show. X-Ray Girl. K13 for $3. IRS, the budget is $363 million. Gun, it's not. Some intern made a mistake. Hey, James, did you just admit that WB put a higher budget and instead of bigger tax break, they should get tax fraud lawsuit? I know you were a pedo, but not that stupid. Wow. Straight up calling them out. Proud to say that Super Shit debuted number 3 in my country behind Afterbirth and F1. Went down to 4th place in its second week. Bulgaria is based and doesn't like weak, disrespected, bitch-made Viltrumites. Get fucked, Marvel pedo. Wow. Go back to the shadows. Zodlander for $5. So I guess that Norin isn't in the movie because Disney wanted their Rose Tico moment. But if they use the ultimate nullifier, they wouldn't have to use a female Silver Surfer unless they wanted to make Johnny gay. Have a great weekend, everyone. Well, yeah, that's why I mentioned in my review, you make a male Silver Surfer, obviously tweaking the script a little bit, meaning you don't make Johnny gay, although he'd want to. And I know people were out there showing Sue sacrificing at the end and throwing up comics that I've all read. And I would argue the comics that you're throwing up were not the comics they were adapting. So stop. Superman wasn't necessarily adapting a story. So this is where I'll slightly defend, and I mean slightly defend a bad movie. Superman was pulling pieces of a comic book. Fantastic Four was adapting a story badly. And it would have been better if you had accurately adapted the story. You had some building blocks. There were some things you did right. So well done, little puppy, for not shitting on the carpet today. But female Silver Surfer's a deal breaker. I'm a comic book fan. I'm not going to fucking apologize for that. And neither is anybody else. If you had a male Silver Surfer, it would have done better. It would have better word of mouth. It would have made more money. And the character's not even developed. Gundam pointed out today that half-ass, and he's right. Well, I pointed out in my video too. That half-ass fucking backstory you gave female Silver Surfer pales in comparison to the tragedy of Norn Rad. Pales in comparison, dramatically. One moment. All right, I'm back. I had to use my cough button. Donald J. Trump for $1. Cheap bastard. I said we couldn't trust the Fantastic Four and disarm. Now look at what happened. Total disaster. Galactus would never eat the Earth. If I were president, I was the apple of his eye. But I said you're going to have a big problem if you do that. And he didn't. I was there. And you're probably right. Donald J. Trump wasn't president when Galactus came. Hey, Gary, I heard you gave K-pop Demon Hunter a shot and it wasn't quite your thing. Well, I'm a bit bummed that you didn't enjoy it. I really appreciate you giving it a try. If you ever do finish it, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Either way, thanks again and hope you have a great day and can't wait to read your book. Evil DJ Dude for $5. Thank you. That's so funny. My phone just said, why isn't K-pop Demon Hunters your thing? The fucking AI. God damn it. Go back to my ad read. Holy shit, that is frightening. None of your business, phone. Fuck yourself. Can you hear that? I love being a nerd. You guys are some kind of paragons of being nerds, and I guess that's okay. Superman, in my opinion, was a 6 out of 10. I will watch Fantastic Four tomorrow. I suspect that without the ultimate nullifier, won't hit as hard as Rise of the Silver Surfer. No ultimate nullifier. Quick story. Well, I'll let him finish here. My cousin called James Gunn a genius. Same cousin that forced me to watch Superman. He gave the movie a 9 out of 10. I give it a 7 out of 10. I had fun, but afterwards I turned my brain on, and now I give it a 6 out of 10. I'm watching F4 tomorrow. I hope it's good. I hope it's good. Yeah, let me know what you thought of it, Zodlander. They're very similar grades, give or take a point, but they're both mid movies. They both have some strengths, and they both have glaring weaknesses, but for different reasons. Superman just was not a good story. It has a really good cast and not a good story, not a memorable story. It's not terrible. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen. My son and my wife like Superman more than Fantastic Four, but it's like very close. And what we have here is two midsummer mid movies. And that's why you get the most debate. I forgot who I was chit-chatting with. Somebody who might be new to the internet. I'm not sure. But I said this often happens with mid movies, that people with properties that people care a lot about, and the movies come out mid. You just see fighting over it. Like good old-fashioned nerd rage. It's a normal thing. It's been going on for years and years and years. And I think that person said, like, well, if it's a mediocre movie, I think they were just a little too autistic on the internet. So, and they didn't catch the nuance of that. But like, by your definition, if it's mediocre, then nobody should be fighting over it because it's mediocre. It's like, no, actually, you're literally seeing it right now. Like your evidence is these are mediocre movies by most accounts. People who love it or hate it, they're not saying greatest movie ever made. Very few people are saying that. And if they are, they're the kind of people who, I mean, like, hey, we all get entertained by something. I think a laser pointer being, shot around, it's entertaining for a second. Some people might get hours of joy out of that. Who am I to judge? But it's a mediocre movie. And it's basically fighting over your love of Superman or Fantastic Four. and those variations. But it's very mediocre movies. These are not great movies. Infinity War was pretty close to a great movie. Avengers is a great movie. Iron Man is a great movie. The Captain America trilogy, Captain American Brave New Turd is not good. The Captain America trilogy is the best superhero trilogy. It's the most consistent. Doesn't have like a shitty third movie or a shitty middle movie. The Steve Rogers Captain America trilogy is good. So they're mid. They're mid. People are going to argue. People are going to forget about them. They're going to do about what everybody predicted they do. And listen, I said, and many others said, I predict when I walk out of Superman, I'll be like, it was all right. It was a little less than that, but that's what I was expecting. With Fantastic Four, I thought I was going to hate it. And I walked out going, it could have been worse. It didn't totally suck. That's not a glowing endorsement. Expectations were higher for Superman because they should be. It's Superman. It's James Gunn. Superman. Those should be higher expectations than the third shot at technically the fourth shot at the Fantastic Four with the TV director who directed, in my opinion, in the beginning of the movie with more style than James Gunn. Oh, there was James Gunn's style, but there wasn't a style to it. The Superman flying with that little weird fisheye lens is fucking terrible. I hate it. It's not aesthetically pleasing. Johnny Storm flying around as Human Torch was better than Superman flying around as Superman. It was shot better, which should be a crime. Nitrous Grin, Jeff Up North, Jeebus 53, and MP Cotter. Or not MP. So Jeebus 53 have all gifted Nerdrotic memberships. Thank you very much. MP Cotter for $4.99. The Fat Black Detective Show, The Residence, was blatantly written by CGI'd and AI. Netflix even name drops ChatGPT in their X promo. Not surprised. John Q Ghost has donated 200. Did we miss that one, X-Ray Girl? How could we miss that one? I thought we got.
Oh, we didn't miss it. I just missed deleting it on this list. I apologize.
No, pretty sure we got that one. In and Out is leaving California, all 186 of them. Well, no, its offices are leaving California. So its corporate structure is all moving to Tennessee by 2030 because it'll take a long time to move employees and build buildings and stuff. So it is leaving California. The most California thing in California, In and Out Burger, is leaving California 100% due to California's policies. And it's moving to Tennessee, which means you'll probably get some In and Outs on the East Coast. You'll be happy. There'll be some people who say it's overrated, whatever. In and Out's good. It's really good for a fast food burger. It's better than Culver's. Culver's did have for a time a better burger. The pub burger, I would say, was better than an In-N-Out burger, but it's like it was for a limited time. It's retarded. They should have that thing going all the time. That being said, I ate the best burger I've eaten, I'm going to say in decades. Decades. It was Saturday night. I'm going to give addresses. I'm going to give an address. Okay, there it is. So the owner, and it's not just because, so I wouldn't be saying this unless I genuinely. So my favorite burger previous to this was the Royale with cheese at the Flying Saucer, which is in San Antonio. And they stopped making it. Like, you can make your own, but they stopped making it, and it's just not the same. This one was better. This is the best burger I've had in decades, and I'm not joking. So it's at the Havana Grill outside of the AMC 20 in San Diego. So the owner asked, like, hey, I'll give you a free meal. You know, what's up? Hail the fellowship. And we gave him last minute, like, hey, I'm going to come by there. I didn't want the free meal. we're going to go by your restaurant and hit it before we go see Fantastic Four at the AMC 20, which was sold out, by the way, at 9:00, but it was Comic-Con too. So real quick, we had about an hour to eat. So we got some food, and me and my son ordered the Cuban burger. What was it called? I should probably hang on. No, what was the burger called? No. Yeah, well, there's full menu. I'll find it. Oh, I don't want to do all this. I just want to look at the menu. It's the burger. It's like oh my God, I can't see it. I can't spend too much time on this. Oh, there's those desserts that are really good. Where the fuck is it? Well, it's the one burger there. I don't know the exact name of it. It's like the Cuban burger or Havana burger, something like that. It's fucking great. It's great. So yeah, it's in the Mission Valley Shopping Center, right outside the AMC 20. If you're in San Diego, you're familiar. If you're in San Diego, you know the Mission Valley Shopping Center quite well. So it's there. Running Man in the book is better, but the new Running Man looks like shit. Nitrous Grin for 10 British pounds. I disagree. I actually think the movie's better than the book. I do. Something which is never talked about is the most movies were adapted from books. The majority of movies back then were from proven models from books. Lord of the Rings, Shawshank Redemption, There Will Be Blood. Are books popular now? Well, that's a good question, Gary Hilton. For 1999 British pounds. They are, but publishing has basically been taken over by a bunch of woke white women. So we have all this fantasy is pretty much like romantic fantasy now. So we don't have like Elric. We don't have Conan. We don't have anything like Lord of the Rings. A Song of Ice and Fire is never going to finish. I wouldn't call that the manliest fantasy, but at least like there's fucking violence and dragons and good shit. But yeah, it's just kind of died out. We need some. There's Brandon Sanderson out there and stuff, but like it's been dominated, and like I think a lot of the male writers have kind of just gone on their own. And I think like publishing and their control over things is gonna fade along with all the other gatekeepers because you're just gonna be able to make your own shit and publish it. It's fulfillment, man. That's the thing. But Amazon's got that, but you don't make any money. You don't make any money off that. So there's got to be a give and take. You see, even Quarter Black has left. You take too long. Quarter Black's internet died out because for some reason in the Dallas metro area, you can't get fucking fiber. One of the biggest metro areas in America. I'll never forgive Kevin Feige for gender swapping my favorite Marvel character, Silver Surfer. Justice for Norrin Radd. I agree. Now I won't forget what he did to Valkyrie too. You guys should check out the new trailer for Primitive War, indie film based on a really good book. Love you guys. We have in the past, and I can't wait. Pop culture has taken such a nosedive, and all we get is bastardized remakes, reboots, and requels. Is because the machines cannot make art. We are all asleep inside our pods. Maybe. Romulus looks good. It has a show on Rome after all. Don't make the Mauler mad. Yes. Says Nitrous Grin. Gary, any info on Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein going on at SDC? There was nothing there. Guillermo del Toro was there with George Lucas. I don't know if he mentioned it or not. But that is my most anticipated movie of the year. By far. And it's on Netflix. Good day, my brother. Met and took photos with Samwise and Doc Brown in the same day at Supernova in Perth, Australia. That's awesome. Keith Richards outlived them all. I know, like Ozzy and Hulk. That was a rough week. Still is rough. Rest in peace, legends. And I know there were very flawed human beings in life. But aren't we all? I met Jason, David, Frank, Tommy Oliver, Power Rangers. Before he passed, he was a good bloke. Ah, that's cool. Ryan, I'm mostly with you on celebs dying. Never really affects me much for ones whose work I enjoy. Kiri Toriyama had me bawling for days. Yeah, I don't bawl for days. I don't bawl. I just like, hey, that's a bummer. Doesn't ruin my day. Like even when Bowie died, I was bummed, but I just listened to some Bowie. You know, it's like, oh, I can't pay my bills today and go to work. I wasn't like that. I was just like, hey, guys, you hear Bowie died? That fucking sucks. He was my favorite. I'm listening to Mama, I'm Coming Home right now. I know it's about accepting his addiction and attempting to fight it, but it works for grief too. It works for a lot of things. It works for a lot of things. Venture Brothers did Fantastic Four better. Yes, they did. We watched the first 2 episodes of season 1 last night. Beardhood for $5. First FNT since the flood. Finally have internet again. What did I miss? Was Superman any good? Whoa, you have missed some of the best, like, legit nerd rage in many a moon that isn't over like just woke shit. Well, now it's back to normal because I think the biggest issue with Fantastic Four is gender swapped. No, the biggest issue with Fantastic Four is Pedro and female Silver Surfer. Those are 2 forced errors by Marvel. If you have a male Silver Surfer and a nobody playing Reed Richards, the movie would have done better. The majority of people would have walked out of it going, that was better than Superman. Not saying it's great, because it ain't. RIP to Julian LaFay as well. He's the father of Elder Scrolls and was working on a new project called The Wayward Realms when he passed. Hail FNT. Hail to you. Until Hollywood gets some depth, nothing they make will have depth. So true. Pseudonym. I get it. RIP Shansaku Tamiya of Tamiya Models died on July 18th. Shit. You know, it's I've been informed that 100% of all people die. It's tragic. Slain Hope for $1.99. Was the Trump stuff funny and original? Not really. It was over the top, but it was actually reused jokes. But it's not like I wasn't debating whether it was funny or not. That's a very, like, what I said on Twitter, which might have upset some people. Don't really care. Was stop being a pussy. Now I wasn't debating whether it was funny or not, but it was just the aspect of like Trump is some sacred cow or something, which he's not. And that's the whole point. That's the whole point of MAGA. MAGA was supposed to be like, we can take shit. We're tough. And a lot of them are. Most of them are. Like a lot of MAGA was just like, whatever. Is the stuff going on with Diamond Comics affecting Dynamite Entertainment? I ordered Terminator 40th Omnibus and it's constantly delayed. I think it is. Yeah. So Dynamite, like, I don't want to speak out of turn. I don't know how much money they have. I'm going to guess. I'm going to guess that Dynamite isn't rolling in millions and millions of dollars. They are a collectible producer and a comic publisher. So they have a pretty valuable property in The Boys, but that's creator owned. So I don't know how much they actually get from licensing that, if any at all. Not really sure, but I can't imagine they are just flowing in money. So Diamond owing them $1 million will probably hurt. Delays happen in collectibles all the time, but what was funny is Diamond had a bunch of exclusives there that they had the barcode up and you couldn't go through the process of buying them. So it confounds me why you would have the barcode up. I understand why you want to have the space and the things displayed, but why have the barcode up? Like, what the fuck was behind that? That was weird and unprofessional. And yeah, it was weird. But it was a sign of the times. You could feel it. You could feel like nerds, superheroes, all that stuff has peaked. It's fine. As I said many years ago, after my Rise of Skywalker review, I'm like, when the dust settles and our beloved franchises and American mythology is pulverized into tiny little pieces, some of us will be there amongst the wreckage, still there. One of the best hero dramas is Korean show movie. Ironically, it's on Disney Plus. There's going to be a season 2, but it's on Disney Plus. Fantastic Foreskin, says Dipsy. I think the best one was Fantastic 4 out of 10. I didn't feel that way, but that was like kind of the best one I've seen. The Joker on Kevin Feige's Blade comment. Very poor choice of words. Absolutely. Suez really loves mustache rides. She does. What if Shala Ball was attracted to Ben's humanity instead of Johnny's playboy boyish personality? What if Norin Rad was with Alicia Masters and he learned what's behind the humanity of Earth through this blind woman? She, her, Silver Surfer. Yes, Darth Gavel. What about the Sue Storm resurrection scene? It's Franklin Richards. So it creates a massive problem. It's like, now you got this kid who could just resurrect anybody. Now, the only way you temper the infant god is you always keep him an infant or very young. Right? Unless you turn him into Q. So he's gotten older in the comics, and Franklin is a problem. As a Fantastic Four fan, an adult Franklin, a grown-up Franklin is a problem. It's a massive problem because he's practically a god. Don't forget, Biden brought us pregnancy flight suits for U.S. military pilots. Great. Fly pregnant. That's always safe. The best thing about Fantastic Four was the Little Caesars for topping pizza promotion. Terrible casting, and the costumes are awful and with bad writing. So Stuck in Bucket. Mansfield Time for $5. I think I figured out why these movies lack strong, balanced characters and don't have any real stakes in the story. The writers are vegan. You're right. Jeremy absent because he's still recovering from South Park episode about Trump. Jeremy had a pretty decent attitude about it. Boiling down, the F-Force choice isn't as simple as a trolley problem. It's an outside force. It's an outside force overwhelming. You're on camera, just so you know. Boiling down, the F-Force choice isn't as simple as a trolley problem. It's outside force with overwhelming power demanding their son. It reminds me of Binding of Isaac, but the F4 don't have faith in worship. Galactus. The Binding of Isaac. I think the F4's trolley problem wasn't a problem because it was dealt with. Everything was dealt with like that. So we can You know what fans do that I love? You know what? By the way, chat says hello. You know what fans do that I love? And like I've done this, Mahler does it, we all do it. Like when we're watching something bad, we try to make it make sense. We try to fill things in. We try to give it more depth than actually there because we want it to be better. There's nothing wrong with that. The Fantastic Four wasn't that deep. Superman wasn't that deep. And it's because the creators looked at it as this is a comic book movie. It doesn't need to be deep. We're going to lean into the Silver and Bronze Age, so it doesn't need to be deep. Silver and Bronze Age comics were deep, especially considering their readership. But there's a reason they've stood up to time. There's a reason they are timeless stories. There's a reason The Coming of Galactus is a timeless story and widely considered 3 of the greatest Marvel comic books ever written and drawn because it stands up to time. It's a timeless story that's taken seriously. That's earnest. Yes, there's a big rock guy and a guy who catches on fire and a guy who stretches, but there's real stakes and there's talk of humanity in it. And you have this giant godlike being who you try to reason with. And his reasoning is not really evil. It's like, I exist. I am a force of nature. But yeah. But we try to like imprint like more depth than it's actually. There's no depth to it. It set up, Disprue talked about it, and he's right. It set up a very interesting problem with Franklin that got easily resolved. It seems like everybody agrees that this movie is at minimum a decent start for the Fantastic Four. Imagine if it was 2006 and there was no MCU, would you be more excited for the sequel? If ifs and buts were candy and nuts, we'd all have a fucking Merry Christmas. If this movie came out in 2006, it would I be excited for the sequel? What frame of reference? I mean, if this type of movie comes out in 2006, who are we casting it? Is it the same cast? Because they're all going to be incredibly young. So this is why we can't compare. Times were different. Things were different. If they approached the costumes and the set design, if we want to get into aspects and say if they had approached it more seriously back then, but with the cast of of Tim Story's Fantastic Four with probably a better director, sure. But we're getting into a lot of ifs and variables and buts, and the Earth was in a different position in 2006. Our solar system was in a different position. Our galaxy was in a different position. You can't compare. You can't. But if you're talking about if they had gone like aesthetically this serious into the Fantastic Four, maybe. The Thing costume lacked an eyebrow. That was my biggest problem with it. I was fine with the costume though, and Michael Chiklis. Dr. Doom sucked. Okay, he did. Dr. Doom sucked in it. Whatever happened to Galactus projecting cosmic energies from his eyes and hands, it would have ended the FF and the Silver Surfer right there. Yes, he's depowered. He's just depowered. And he decided not to use his powers over the Silver Surfer. Oh, remember, at some point, Galactus leaves and puts a barrier around Earth and traps the Silver Surfer on Earth for a long time. R.I.P. Chuck M, Mike, Hulk, Hogan, Ozzy, and MJW. Rough week. All right. I'm going to have to get the rest on Thursday. Let's get some of the new ones. And I got to get out of here. A damn machine not starting in time. It was great meeting you, Horny Alf. Oh, look, it's Jem Hurdor. Hail Gary, awesome show today. I missed the old Star Trek. Also, the gamers in the States, check out change.org to stop the censorship of gaming. You rock. Keep on space trucking, says PGMD81. No male Silver Surfer, no go for me on Fantastic Four. You rock. Keep on space trucking, says PGD. Thank you. All right, let's get up here. Chris Funderburg, what's up? I saw you for $5. Says, yo, Gary, it's great meeting you at Saturday at Urban. Keep doing your thing. Thunderstruck Comics. Check out Thunderstruck Comics. Arian for 100 yen. Really love Superman Action Comics 775 by Joe Kelly. What's so fun about Truth, Justice, in the American Way? Love Joe Kelly. I can bet Hollywood and Gunn will never adapt it. You're right. John Gets Gaming for $5. Demon Slayer coming to the U.S. in September. They're making 3 movies to cover the final arc of the series. Advertised it in the U.S. Sony. They did. They advertised the shit out of it at Comic-Con. Boomer Bastard for $10. I admit I liked FF 6.5, maybe 7. I just know I enjoyed it even with its issues. Pedro was way better than I expected. Who is Starfleet Academy for? Looks like CW, says Archer Merchant for $2. You're right. B Buster has sent 5 Nerdrotic Live memberships. Thank you very much. Jim Heimerl. Jim Heimerl. Gary, we met Saturday. Name's Jim, not John, LOL. Jim. To me, something is not canon if it doesn't flow uncoerced from the mind of the original creator. All story elements from Kurtzman Trek is non-canon. I agree. They could solve a lot of problems by making it an alternate universe. They know that. But then they can't steal shit. Or they can't insert. See, they need to be shoehorned into canon. It's just like the first female doctor played by Jodie Whittaker. They couldn't just make a female doctor because they know everybody would have skipped it. So they had to make her part of the canon. They forced the issue and killed the show. Going to see Fantastic Four tomorrow. Hope it's good, but don't have much expectations from Hollywood. Hail, waiting for Nerdrotic and you, Gary. Cheers. Gamer Plush for $17. Jose Taco. What's the best thing you got at the con and the most expensive? I don't know if I should say. I spent, one of the coolest things we walked in for like, 10 minutes we were there. And they, was it Chip Kidd? Reproduced all the Marvel Blacklight posters in a 12-pack. And we bought that and I carried it around like a surfboard. That was one of the coolest things. The heavy metal Elric cover. I got one for Razor Fist, by the way, and for my kid. They did another Elric hardcover adaptation at Titan, which is good. Very good. The heavy metal guys were very cool, by the way. It was very nice talking to them, and they did really well, and they looked really happy to be back under new management. That isn't stupid. Smart management is now in charge. Dumb management gone. Hail heavy metal. Most expensive? I got a Marvel key, a big one. We'll talk about it on Real BBC. Archer Merchant for $2. House of Asher twist. She was a man all along. Maybe. I'm looking forward to Weapons in August. Oh, Weapons looks good. Yeah, but like there's not going to be. There's movies I'm looking forward to, like Nobody 2. Kind of looking for. We'll see what happens with Naked Gun and Weapons. But nothing's going to be like $1 billion blockbuster, not even a $500 million blockbuster. Like we're going to go back to it's back to the desert for the movie theater. No, better shit's coming out on streaming. Like streaming has better shit coming out this year. So the theaters are screwed, but we still have like some, there's Stranger Things coming out. There's a lot of stuff like Alien Earth, at least is piqued my curiosity. It'll probably suck. But piqued my curiosity. That's coming out next. So there's shit coming out on streaming. Watch trailer, just more Kurtzman crap masquerading as Star Trek. Best thing that could happen to Star Trek would be if aliens abducted him and never brought him back. The Lone Boomer for $10. I agree. Fart, Shart, Depart for $5 says, average IQ of Superman stands is subterranean. Twitter is super frustrating right now. It is something. Have you heard Harvard says aliens are visiting Earth? They have. Yes. And I think they are. It's done. I finally did it. My first review was up. Blandtastic bore. Missteps. Would love some constructive criticism if anyone is so inclined. From JB24 for 5 Canadian pesos. And that's the name of the channel, JB24. Go check it out. Gamer Plush, 17 for $5. Do you see Warner and Discovery are splitting? Most dumbest merger ever. World's dumbest company, Warner Brothers strikes again. They are, and they're splitting so Discovery can take the debt. Jim Hadar, test tube babies needs mom too. Makes total sense to the breeding farm mob. That names on the wall were interesting, but Worf wasn't on it. Oh, I didn't even read those, Zodlander. I didn't fuck that. They probably had to look them up. Censorship, that UK government doing straight out of 1984. Yes, they are, Arian. They can't just stop defiling the corpse of Trek. Channel surf. Anyone taking bets on the Klingon being into dudes? Horny Alpha, I wouldn't. Thanks for this. You're welcome, DD6. Horny Alpha, I've read that one already. Is it watch party worth? TJ Crit. Oh, Starfleet Academy? Absolutely. 100%. I'm dying. How long until Ryan calls her Gem Hardar? Fourth drawer down for 199. Whoopi Goldberg as Touche Turtle. Darth Maul's lower half for $2. There are no female Gem Hadar, period. And they don't have periods. Presumable, those people at the end of the trailer are the babies. I'm presuming that because they're all white. Jamequa Hadar. There you go. Yes, Gary, Starfleet Academy looks like dog poop, but look on the bright side. At least they didn't race swap Snape. Good point. WG. Thank you for 20. Andrew Knapp for $5. Terry Metalis wrote this in a cave with a box of scraps. Paramount to Kurtzman, probably. Welcome to the Traveler section, J Rex. Gary likes 2 nacelles and 1 warp drive. That's right, baby. How much time we got? Yeah, I got to go. Star Trek, the Star Trekkening. I'm almost done. Okay. I enjoy Shatner, but if you haven't seen the Roddenberry archive interview, he went off the rails. So funny. Well, he's old. What was the first Grok, what was the first Star Trek series, says John Gets Gaming? Kirk Show, where no man has gone before. The stuff should literally be made for me, and it was made for most, and it was for most of my life. However, I want to sue them for brain damage to my family. You're owed reparations for watching that. Big Worm for $5. Star Trek. He's my boy, the Doctor. So sad. I don't get to revisit him. Looks like Star Trek plus Saved by the Bell, the college years, Star Trek, Starfleet Academy. How does this work with the Founders and the Dominion War? You missed the Cisco part. I did miss the Cisco part, but yeah, it's there. There's a silhouette of Cisco, but we're going to watch it again tomorrow on Real BBC on Az's channel. All right, we're going to run out of here. I've still got some more to do, so we're going to be back on Thursday night, probably. So we'll be back on Thursday to finish up. Sorry, I couldn't finish up today, but I have to go do my thing, get dressed. I will see you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. And right after, we're starting early tomorrow. So we're starting at what again? 9? So
it'll be
at 9.
8 a.m. Pacific.
8? Why would it be 8?
Because it's usually at 9.
It's usually at 10 Pacific.
No, it's not. It starts
Yeah,
at
it is.
11 Central, which would be 9 Pacific.
Oh, it's 11. That's right. Okay. I'm thinking
okay.
Yeah. So it's 8. Yeah, it's 8. I got to wake up early. Yeah, I don't know my times anymore. So 8 o'clock Pacific time tomorrow morning. We're starting Real BBC so I can hang for 2 hours and then I'm leaving right after. I'm going home. I have some lunch thing to go to today. So thank God it's close, right? Well, I don't have to get my suit on for lunch. Yeah, good. I'm just going to, I'll just wear this. Just kidding. All right. Hey, thanks everyone. Thanks to the Nerdrotics. Thanks to everyone who left Super Chat donation. Again, we'll catch them on Thursday. I'll see you next time. and fuck, damn it. July's over. It's over. It's very sad. Very sad. Catch you later. Bye.